If you have under 1,000 hours inside of Counter-Strike 2, this video is going to help you so much. Today, I'm going to share with you some knowledge that I wish I knew when I was brand new to the game, some things that are going to help you out, and we're going to move very fast paced. So if you need to, pause the video as we talk about a lot of different topics, but just a lot of stuff I see new players doing wrong that is going to help you out so much. So let's get into the first thing, which is understanding when to buy Kevlar and helmet. When you're on the T side, it is very easy. The terrorist side, you're always, when you can, going to want to buy a Kevlar helmet and like vest, right? This $1,000 purchase every single time, because the CTs are going to have A1Ss, USPs, and other guns that aren't going to be able to one-shot to your head if you have this armor. Armor is by far the most important thing that you can buy in a round in Counter-Strike, because one, like I said, it protects you from getting one shot, but also it makes it so that you can soak up a lot more bullets and you don't affect aim punch, or you don't get affected by it. Aim punch is essentially going to move your crosshair and your screen up and down because of the lack of armor, making it like you're flinching in real life by getting shot. Now, before we get into the next tip, guys, let me give you a message from the sponsor of today's video about Counter-Strike 2 skins.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is understanding how to use the different sections of these guns. So with pistols are very unique in the fact that you can run around with them. They have high movement speed, and you can sit here and, you know, jiggle with them and play like this. Pistols are very weak overall because they're the cheapest stuff, but obviously they're very good because they are your secondary weapon. Now, if you are a rifler, and not an opper, I would not recommend buying upgraded pistols. The only time you want to buy upgraded pistols is if you are an opper, because you're going to need it a lot more. Say you're fighting somebody and someone gets close range on you, you're going to need to be able to do that. If you have a rifle, it doesn't really make sense to invest in a pistol every round when you have a gun that shoots 20 plus bullets and you can reload and be very active and mobile, right? So pistols are very unique in that fact that you can have them permanently in your secondary slot versus all these other guns, you only get to have one of them. So it's very nice that with pistols, you're going to want to play close range. You're going to get ratty, grimy in the way that you play with them. And pistols are very nice for newer players because they don't punish you for moving around. You can kind of run and gun with them and you're pretty accurate with most of them. The only exception is the deagle. Now, the way you want to play with the deagle, guys, is act like you're holding an op with this thing. So it's very good to hold angles with it because it one-shots to the head. When you have the deagle, it's good in long range and close range. When you're close range, a tip that you can do with this gun is, I see a lot of new players just sit there and spam it like this. That's not good. Instead, when you're crouched and you're shooting this gun, you go, staying alive, staying alive. If you do it to that song, you never miss a shot because that's the perfect beat for when it resets. So if you can just in your head do that, you'll never miss a deagle shot again, and it'll be able to reset perfectly just like that. Let's talk about the SMGs. For those of you that are new to the game, the SMGs are so good for you because you can run around with them. SMGs do not punish the movement inaccuracy, kind of like the pistols, and you can get active, you can jump around. If your movement's bad, you can sit here and spam it. And when you have these guns, you want to get aggressive, you want to play unpredictable, you want to be relentless with how you do it, and you don't want to play long range. With the mid-tier weapons, you don't want to sit back here and hold angles like this. So you want to get up close and instead get up in their face, play here, and yeah, do your thing. So the next guns are going to be the rifles here. These are going to be your long range specialist guns where you can sit back here and play angles. For these guns, you're going to want to jiggle a lot, hold angles, and really, you know, be very solid when you take fights, right? A lot of new players, their problem when they're playing with the rifle is they're trying to play with a rifle like it's an SMG. So if someone's running at them, they start running back and shooting like this. Do you see how our bullets are going everywhere? With an SMG, you can get away with running at people, right? You can do this and the bullets can go exactly where you want them to be. But with rifles, guys, you have to be able to crouch or counter strafe. So if we're peeking an angle, let's do a different example. If we're peeking catwalk here, as we're peeking, we're going to have to stop our momentum with our opposite key. So I'm holding A, we have to hold D. Holding A, press D. And a way to shortcut this is when you're peeking an angle, just crouch while you're doing this. The crouching is going to slow you down even more, and it is a kind of a bad habit to get into, but just understand what with these rifles, especially when you're newer at the game, crouching is going to be your best friend just because it helps you reset that inaccuracy and makes it so that you're very good. Lastly, we can talk about like the ops and the scoped weapons. These guns are very good at long range, but make sure when you're using them, you're always behind cover, because when you shoot, you've got to wait a second and a half for you to be able to shoot again. See? So we can't be playing out in positions that are vulnerable to double peeking, and instead we always want to be able to fall back when we have this gun. So let's talk about the tier list of how these weapons should work. So obviously you're gonna have to start every game out with using the pistols, right? That's just how it works. But as soon as you can, you're going to want to try to shift to getting the A1S, the A4, or the AWP. These three guns, and then on T side, the AK or the AWP. You're going to want to get these guns. They're the most powerful weapons in the game. And SMGs are great for building money, building economy, doing that. But ultimately, we don't want to stay on SMGs for as long as possible. We want to get to rifles as quickly as we can, because it's going to give us that advantage when the other team has a full buy. It's going to give us the range, and these are just the best guns in the game right now. So understanding that is very important, because I see a lot of newer players think that SMGs are the best guns when they're not. You want to get A1S, A4, and up. You want to get these guns up, you want to get the AKs up, and you're going to find a lot more success than just running around with the lack of armor. Now, another thing I want to talk about, guys, is something very simple. Always in your head, ask yourself, where am I aiming? So many new players run around the map looking at the floor or looking at the sky. You don't want to be doing stuff like this when you're playing the game, because it is very bad. When you're looking at bad angles like this, you look like a noob, and you're going to play like a noob because you're not going to be able to shoot and react fast enough. We don't want to flick as much as possible. When we're holding angles, we always want to follow the wall, right? So this catwalk fight that I was talking about earlier, you know, say we know no one's in ladder and we're worried about cat, we follow our crosshair as we're peeking, right? So we're coming through here and doing this. You can also pre-aim through the wall if you know someone is there. That's another good strategy. But regardless of what you're doing, just always keep your crosshair where people could be at. Don't run around the corner looking here. Don't run around the corner looking at this wall. And it's very obvious when you're watching a YouTube video, but when you get inside of an actual match, it's going to hurt you so badly not understanding this. Another thing you guys need to understand, when you are on the T side, your job is to plant the bomb. You can win the round by just having the bomb go off, and that is going to be your strategy every single round. You're going to try to want to get that bomb down in some way. Sometimes you don't want to rush it, but what I see new players not understanding is that you need to have an idea of where you're planting the bomb. If all the CTs are playing from jungle and connector side, you have to plant the bomb right here because you're behind cover. So many new players will just like mindlessly run and plant the bomb, and I mean it works both ways, right? So if you know they're heavy spawn side, then you don't want to plant here and you want to plant behind this cover. Always in your head think about these things, like where are the enemies playing and where should I plant? On B site, planting here is very safe, but maybe they're going to jump out market on you and you have a teammate cat. Well, then plant right here, because now he has this angle and they can't kill you like they could if they, you know, came through market here or jumped out here and tried to, you know, see what's up and frag you, right? Obviously these examples are a little weird, but always keep in mind where the people are and where you're planting the bomb. This is going to be so important in 1v1s, because I've had situations where I'm running through apps and the CT is flanking me. It's a 1v1 and there's low time. Don't plant the bomb here because he's just going to kill you guys. Like, plant the bomb behind this box or plant the bomb here. Always just keep that in mind, because new players don't understand that. So it's just very important to get that down. And lastly, I'd say, you know, try to play on settings that are going to help you out as far as your sensitivity and stuff. I'm not going to tell you exactly what you should be playing on, but try to stick within the EDPI range of your sensitivity of, I'd say, like 450 to like 1500. Way too many new players play on just an unbelievably high sensitivity from other games like Call of Duty and Fortnite, where if they move their mouse an inch, they literally do like 5 360s, and that's just not viable for Counter-Strike. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 pros plays on a high sense, but overall it's just gonna hurt you playing on these insanely high sensitivities. So definitely something to keep in mind. Let me know if you want a part 2 of this video. There's lots of stuff I could teach you guys of mistakes new players are doing, and I think if you have under 1,000 hours in the game, you can take something out of this video in some sort of way, because most players at this range are just really bad at Counter-Strike and don't know what they're doing. But it's okay, because I was there too. I had like 4,000 hours in the game and I sucked. I was awful at the game. So we gotta learn, we just gotta get better. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Check out all the cool guides on my channel that you see on the screen right now, and stay tuned for the video tomorrow. I got lots of good stuff cooking up, so thank you so much for the support. Peace out.